different creatures, monsters, whatever you want to call them. And each time you do it, there's you start off with 4, then it's 5, then you gotta deal with these 2 big creatures, and it takes forever to fight them because they're strong as hell. But I still have no problem with the game. I like it. Just ready to get finished with it so I can play my Deadpool. But
oh, did you pick that up today?
Yeah.
Nice.
A little excited about it.
Nice, man.
Nolan North.
Yeah.
He's in every game.
Mm-hmm.
Will, what are you up to, man?
I played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes.
Yep.
This month.
Saw that you were
mostly-
streaming that a little bit.
Yeah. Mostly that entails me just getting a little into the mission, royally fucking up, and then just shooting everybody.
Yeah, that's about how it was when I played it too. I'm not great at stealth, man. I don't have the patience for it, I don't think, and I don't know. In my head, I think I'm a great spy, and I can be great stealth and be a ninja, but in practice, it's horrible. For me, I was very lazy this week. I played an hour of Rocket League Monday night, streamed that. I was checking out the free DLC, which was basically a new stadium. And then that's pretty much all I played all week.
Rocket League.
Yeah, it was just an hour of Rocket League. Oh, I did actually pull out the Vita this week. And
Dusted the old boy off.
yeah, I dusted off the old Vita. And I played a game called The Swindle. Have you heard of this game?
No, sounds intriguing. Enlighten me.
It's on PC. It's also on PS4, PS3, and Vita. The great thing about having it on PlayStation console, it's all cross-save through all 3 platforms. So you can start playing on your Vita, get home, start playing it on your PS4, pick right up. It's, if I'm not mistaken, it's set during the French Industrial Revolution time. And it's basically a 2D heist game.
Nice.
And it's kind of a roguelike kind of game. So the whole concept of the game is you have a character and you have 99 days to collect as much money as possible to level your character up. And at the end of the 99 days, you fight the end boss. So you break into these houses. They're patrolled by robots, different types of robots. It gets harder as you progress. And say you die on your 99th day. Well, when you try again, you're on day 98, and you go in, and you pretty much start from square one each time you die, and you lose a day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it's fun. You definitely check it out. Like I said, it's on all 3 PlayStation platforms and on PC. And I think right now it's $11. And you get all 3 versions when you buy one.
Nice.
But yeah, it's kind of like a steampunk, like I said, kind of French industrial type of revolution kind of deal. Yeah, and it's called The Swindle. It's fun. It's been a blast. It's kind of aggravating because like I said, I'm terrible at stealth games, and you have to be very stealthy in this game.
Stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather just kill him. Go on.
Well, you can totally do that. You can go into the house, like I said, you can walk in the front door and just try to go through and kill everybody. But it's pretty much a one-hit kill for your character. And as you kill each of the robots, they drop money. You pick up the money, and in each house that you get to has a computer terminal. And once you unlock the ability to hack, you can hack that computer. And that's where you get a big bulk of your money from.
That's nice.
Yeah, and you go back to your little headquarters, and then you level your character up and stuff. It's, like I said, it's fun.
People leaving all their money in the computer, man.
It's
It's a bad
Y2Ks,
idea.
man. People forgot about that Y2K.
I won't do no online checking it.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that's it for what's in the box, unless anybody else has anything. Okay,
No,
no,
we're
all right,
good.
that's fine. I'm just sitting here and talking to myself. I mean, it's not like we're doing a podcast or anything.
Oh man, but if a viewer wants to talk about what they got in the box, they can.
Yeah, no, they can't. So let's jump right into the news for the week. I'll start off with some movie stuff here. Beetlejuice 2 has been confirmed. I don't know if anyone cares about Beetlejuice, but I thought it was pretty cool.
I do. I love it.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see this.
It got the original cast in it too, so
Yeah.
very excited about
It's
that.
not one of those remakes that we get all the time. It's a true sequel. Let's see. The next big, and I guess final news for movies is that Fox is set to lose up to $60 million on the recently released Fantastic Four movie. This movie supposedly cost $120 million to produce and tens of millions of dollars more to market. It opened, last weekend at the number 2 spot. So its first weekend it opened at number 2, only grossing $26 million.
Did my boy Tom Cruise take number 1?
Yes. Mission Impossible.
There's they made, close to, I don't know how much they made, but
it was pretty much double of what Fantastic Four was. But yeah.
Record for Tom Cruise, so it must have been something good, because he's been around for a while.
Right.
Yeah. And plus it took so long to come out with the other one, so everybody's going to see that movie.
So going into the release of this movie, I feel like we all predicted that it was going to suck.
And it did.
Yeah, and you're the only one that watched it. I mean, I don't foresee myself watching it anytime soon until maybe it hits Netflix or if it pops up on FX one day.
I had to take one for the team.
I don't know. It's pretty bad when you read the reviews and the reviews tell you that the 2006 and what was the other one?
2008 or no, not 9.
Yeah, when those two movies were better than this one, I mean, you got something pretty bad.
Yeah, and see, with me, with movies, games, TV, whatever, I don't listen to the critics or anything because they have a different opinion than me.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, it was like, man, it's like I can agree with everybody. It's like this movie bombed. It just, I don't want to do no spoilers or anything, just in case somebody might want to see it, but they just wasted too much time in the beginning and got all to the good part at the end, and it just cut all that. It just cut a lot of it out.
Yeah,
to me.
That's
like they didn't do it right.
One of the reviews I read said that this movie seemed like it was trying to set up for a movie that was never going to take place in this movie. It was like it was too drawn out.
It was like, for me, the way that critic said it, I can agree with it because it felt like they set up. Like I say, it's probably gonna be spoiled, but it's gonna set up the return of Victor Von Doom,
right?
Basically, for part 2.
Well, and recently, I think it was maybe yesterday or the day before yesterday, I read that Fox has, I guess, decided to pull the sequel from the 2017 lineup of their movies, and it's been replaced with Deadpool 2 because they're putting all their money now into Deadpool. So they're thinking...
That's the smartest thing they've ever done since they decided to make a movie.
Yeah. So now they're thinking Deadpool is going to get a sequel and Fantastic Four will, I guess, probably go on hiatus for another couple of years until they decide to reboot it again.
Yeah. Or they have to before they lose their contract or whatever.
Yeah, I mean...
whatever their thing is.
To me, their best bet's to let Marvel take it back, and whether or not Marvel wants to do something with it would be up to them, but who knows. Okay, going into the TV stuff, the only real big story that I saw for TV, other than the fact that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air might be getting a reboot, I saw that today.
Please don't leave Carlton alone.
I saw that today, and I was like, "Oh, really? Fresh Prince? Okay."
Just leave that classic alone.
That
is not need to be touched.
Okay, the actual TV news story is John Constantine has been confirmed to be on season 4 of Arrow.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like super excited for this because comic book wise, I love Hellblazer. and I tried to watch the Constantine TV show, but I could never catch the time that it came on TV. I saw one episode, and it was really cool, and I was like, man, I want to get into this. But I could never, like, figure out when it actually came on. So for them to take that character and throw it into Arrow, which is a show that I watch when it comes on. And it's one of the handful of shows that I actually follow.
Yeah, Stephen Ells put a hashtag out on Twitter saying "Save Constantine."
Yeah, I really hope they do, and I hope. Like I said, I don't know what channel it came on. I'm thinking it's like Sci-Fi.
I think it was CW.
Was it CW? See, I can never find it on CW. I thought it was like some random channel like USA or Sci-Fi.
I can see it more on Sci-Fi, but I think
I don't think it was. I really don't think it was CW. Let me look real quick.
But go to the post.
Yeah, I'm looking real quick. But the other part of that story, Matt Ryan, the guy that plays John Constantine, is going to reprise his role as Constantine, which is great for him. I'm sure he's happy about that. And I guess the last big part of that story is they said that he will be part of the whole reason why Sarah Lance, a.k.a. the old Black Canary, is returning to Arrow. And the reason why she's joining the cast of Legends of Tomorrow. If any of that makes sense. Basically, in the series of Arrow, she gets killed. Spoilers. And they're making a whole new series of superheroes. It's like a spin-off show called Legends of Tomorrow, and she's part of it.
I think the only reason why they're coming out with that show is simply because Wes died, and that since he destroyed his great, grandson or whatever, that when Barry goes back in time, they're going to bring the real Professor Wells back, and, he's going to come back and do all this and that in the third or whatever, and then it's going to go, wherever it takes it on episode, 3 maybe, because, the first episode is going to go back in time, the second one is going to get him back, and the third one is going to take place in the, present to where everything happens.
We were both wrong. It's NBC.
NBC, oh, damn, yeah. I wonder why it didn't last.
Yeah, I feel like they cancel their shows anyway. Like, regardless of how well it does, they just cancel their shows.
Yeah, because I think for NBC, honestly, they want to hit a certain viewership.
Yeah, if their show doesn't make 5 million viewers constantly, it's pretty much canceled.
Because there's a lot of shows, I ain't gonna lie, especially CW, shows come on, they don't care how many viewers look at it.
Yeah.
If they have somebody, they're gonna keep playing episodes. Because I actually liked it, but I doubt they have a second season.
No, I think it's been renewed.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even know that, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to some video game news here. The top story here came out earlier this week is the vote to play for the PlayStation Plus games started yesterday, Thursday, and it contains 3 games. One's called Grow Home, that's from Ubisoft, and it looks like a really neat-looking adventure platformer type game. The other one's a game called Armello, and it's like an RTS type game. And then Zombie Vikings is the last one, and I'm not 100% sure. I think it's like a 2.5D type side-scrolling game, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But basically, vote to play for PlayStation Plus is Sony giving the PlayStation Plus subscribers a chance to vote for which one of these games they would like to have as a free game for the next month. So right now, if you get on your PlayStation 4, I feel like it's only for PlayStation 4 because I feel like all of these games are coming out for PS4.
Yeah.
You can vote for which one you would want for free. And if that game wins the vote, that game will come out for free next month. And the other 2 games will be discounted for PlayStation Plus members. So I think it's really cool. I mean, I don't expect to see any AAA games on part of this vote to play thing. But I think it's really cool. And I say go vote for Grow Home because it looks really, really awesome.
Yeah, definitely. That's where my vote would go.
Yeah.
Although the Armello one looks interesting, but
yeah, it does. But I'm not Yeah, I'm not a big, like, a huge RTS type fan like that, so Grow Home looks like it's more of my style.
And plus, those are hard to kind of sell in, like,
Yeah.
a 15-second pitch. It's hard to tell if you'll like it until you try it.
And I also feel like this kind of puts all these kind of smaller games in the spotlight, whereas most people would be like, oh, I don't really care about these indie games, because I feel like that's kind of the common theme nowadays, is, oh, we don't like indie games anymore. But I feel like you get to choose which one you want for free, and then the other ones you get discounted. So, I mean, how can you hate that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a smart decision on their part. It brings more interest into whatever gets chosen.
Yeah.
And the other two get press too, so everyone and the players feel like they're getting, their feedback. Appreciate it.
Speaking of that, I haven't even done mine yet. Go ahead and do it. Let's see. The next thing on the list, Peter Dinklage is being replaced by Nolan North in Destiny due to his schedule for Game of Thrones. Everybody thought it was something bad when they announced it, but it's just scheduling issues.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know anything about that.
Well, I mean, everyone made fun of his performance in it or whatever.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
that's
even if that was the reason, I doubt they would say that. Like, oh yeah, that guy sucked. That's why we replaced him.
Yeah, I mean,
sure, if they wanted a voiceover from him, they could make it work. It's not like he's doing anything else but voiceovers for the game. But
yeah.
Nolan North, he's a good voiceover guy.
But when does too much become too much for that guy, you know? I feel like he's in every game. If it's not him, it's Troy Baker. If it's not Troy Baker, it's Dave Fennoy. Like, they're everywhere.
It's because they're good, man.
They are good. I mean, I'm not trying to discredit those guys, but, I mean...
They are everywhere.
It's hard to play Uncharted and then go play Prince of Persia and then go play... What's that one game he played in? Dark Void or something like that?
Dark Void,
and Assassin's Creed, and you're like, when the hell did Nathan Drake get in all these games?
That's a funny question to ask. Yeah, for a while he was in like some of like the biggest franchises around, so it was getting pretty crazy. He still is, but he's a little. There's a little more people on the stage now, but he's still definitely big.
I'm actually checking out this vote to play thing right now. I'm just trying to see how it works on the PlayStation 4, and it's actually pretty cool. Have you done yours yet?
I have not. I've read how to do it, but I haven't gone.
So it actually shows you a small trailer, like as you scroll through the games. It's pretty neat.
Nice.
So yeah, it looks like Zombie Vikings is like some like 2D, 2.5D adventure game.
Yeah, their little trailer for it didn't really say a whole lot about it. I feel like it was just kind of like them trying to be funny with it, but it didn't really land with me. So it's like, that's why I didn't even mention really that one.
Oh, and actually after you do your vote, it actually gives you the standings right now, and it says Grow Home's #1, and then Armello's in second place.
That's not surprising. That's about what I figured.
This is actually pretty cool though, and there's 9 days left, so get on that, everybody. Get on it. Let's see. I lost my place here. Okay. Sony announced firmware 3.0 for PlayStation 4. Comes with like a whole slew of crap that you probably will never use, but the two biggest things are we're finally getting YouTube broadcasting, which is pretty cool, and Twitter video uploads, which I think is cool.
Have they actually like announced everything that's going to be in it, or is it just?
Yeah, there's an article on IGN that tells you like a whole list of what all is going to be in there. There's like extra features for the home screen. I don't know what you actually call it on the PS4, but I guess it's the home screen. But there's some new share features, some updated stuff for live on PlayStation or PlayStation Live, whatever it's called. But yeah, you can check that out. It's on IGN. I'm sure Game Informer and all those guys have it too. But like I said, the two biggest things would be the Twitter and the YouTube integration.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Let's see, Resident Evil 2 is being remade. That was announced. It's getting the same treatment as Resident Evil remake, I guess is what you would call it, because it's the remake of the GameCube version. Okay. Oh my god, it's too complicated. But yeah, Resident Evil 2 is getting the remake treatment. I'm actually excited about that, because I haven't picked up Resident Evil remake for PS4, but I want to, and this gives me another reason to play Resident Evil 2 again, and I like that game. It was good.
Now, when they say remake, are they just, they're going to like reskin it like they've kind of done for the GameCube ones, or are they like Final Fantasy 7ing this thing, you know?
Well,
like...
if I'm not mistaken, the Resident Evil remake that recently came out for PS4 and Xbox One and maybe PC, I don't know if it's on PC or not, but it is a, I guess, up-resed version of the GameCube and Wii game, right? And I think they did like some small tweaks to it. But Resident Evil 2 and 3, if I remember correctly, never got any type of remake treatment whatsoever for Wii or GameCube. It was just Resident Evil 2 and 3 on PlayStation 1. So to me, I'm guessing they're going to use this exact same engine and just give it an HD treatment in the same sense of what they did with Resident Evil.
Okay.
To me, I don't see them like rebuilding the whole game, because I mean they would have to, because it never, like I said, it never got any other remake.
No, yeah, I was thinking that it might be like an actual remake. I feel like the wording on this just needs to be more clear.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
let's put it.
Should mean like they're actually remaking
yes.
a game.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking.
Should be what it is.
To me, I don't see them remaking Resident Evil 2, because I don't feel like it's going to sell like, say, the remake of Final Fantasy VII. What I do see them doing is doing a remaster of Resident Evil 2, such as what they just did with God of War 3.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, so that maybe we should start doing that. Remake is when they completely remake the game. Remaster is when they just up-res it.
Yeah, no matter what they fucking call it, that's what
Yeah.
call it.
Okay, for us, that's what we'll say.
Make more sense to them.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so what I think they're going to do is up-res Resident Evil 2, but I could be totally wrong.
No, I think you're right. It wouldn't.
Because I don't. I mean, like I said, I don't.
Audience for it. It would be there, but
yeah.
Mostly for the people that already love. It's not a huge fan base, so not as big as Final Fantasy VII.
Because that's what they. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what they did with Resident Evil, right? They just took the GameCube or the Wii version of it and just remastered it, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, it was just like a built-upon version, but it's it's still like that kind of like tank controls and everything.
Yeah.
This is Resident Evil 4 now, but set in Resident Evil, the original setting now.
See, the only other one that I feel like they should probably really do that to would be Resident Evil 0, because that came out on the Wii and the GameCube as well, and it totally got remade. But,
yeah, that one's pretty cool too. I actually like that game.
So for them to go into Resident Evil 2, I don't know. Like I said, I don't see the market being there like it would be for Final Fantasy VII, but that's just me.
Yeah, they'll probably just come out with their next installment as a full-on game.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 or 8 or whatever the hell they're going to make now. Who knows?
I'm just ready for the movie.
For what?
Get in the movies.
Oh, the movie? Oh my god.
Get in the movies.
You're part of the problem. You are part of the problem, my friend.
Yeah.
You are the reason why we get Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Let's see. A couple of games got announced today. I was checking out the PlayStation blog today. Adventures of Pip. These are all like indie games. If anyone cares, if anybody's checking out the whole indie scene for upcoming PlayStation 4 games. Adventures of Pip's coming out August 18th, so that would be what, Tuesday?
Yep.
A game that looked really neat. They have a trailer on the PlayStation blog. It's called Stories: The Hidden Path. They didn't give a release date for it, but definitely go to the PlayStation blog and check it out. It's called Stories: The Hidden Path. It looks really neat. And a huge indie PC game that looks ridiculous is coming out August 25th. It's called I Am Bread. And if you don't know what this game is, please Google it, watch it. It's hilarious. It's called I Am Bread. And yes, you are a piece of bread in this game. It's funny. Like, it's really hilarious. They announced today Rainbow Moon and Rainbow Skies are coming to PS4 in 2016. Rainbow Moon came out previously on PS3 and Vita, I believe. And it's a kind of old school RPG. Think Final Fantasy 6 and 7, whatnot. And people loved it. And like I said, it's getting re-released on PS4, and the sequel is also coming out on PS4. And let's see, the last, I guess, big story, or the last news story I want to talk about is something I've known about for a while, but I've never really got into it until recently, because I started building like my own actual gaming PC since I almost blew up this laptop that I'm using right now. But I feel like if you're a PC gamer, you probably already know about this, but for the people that don't really know about this, it's humblebundle.com. Have you guys, either one of you, heard of Humble Bundle?
No.
Yeah, I think so. You usually get like a truckload of games for
exactly.
cheap, right? And it goes to, does it go to charity normally?
Yeah. So basically what it is, you go to humblebundle.com, and every month and every week, so often they change out their theme and their game and company they're partnered with. So like this month they're partnered with Bandai Namco, and basically what it is you go in there and say, hey, I want to pay $1, I want to pay $3, $5 for these set tier of games, the first tier of games, and it can be anywhere from like 3 to 5 games. And like I said, you go in there and pick your own price, and you get those 3 or 5 games, whatever. So like I said, this month it's Bandai Namco games, and you can go in and pay $1, and you'll unlock Pac-Man DX Championship Edition, Platformines, and Dead Core, and they're all really fun small games. But if you pay more than the average price, you actually unlock the next tier of games. So the average price for this is $6.72. So if you pay $6.72, you unlock those 3 games, plus Ridge Racer, Unbound, I think's the newest one. I think it's on PS3 and Xbox 360. You unlock Enslaved, which is a really cool game. You played that one, didn't you, Will?
Yeah, I did. It's a pretty good game. I like it.
Yeah, I wanted to download that game. Is it good?
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, I want to get it there.
Yeah, so you unlock Ridge Racer, Enslaved, Ace Combat, the newer one, Star Trek, and Beware Planet Earth. So right there is 8 games for $6 and some change.
Yeah.
And if you go in and pay the asking price for the bundle, which right now is $10, you get all those games, and plus the last game, or the third tier, which is for Namco, Bandai Namco, would be Dark Souls Prepared to Die Edition.
Oh, yeah.
So you get all of those games, and it's $134 worth of games, because it's the collector's edition. Well, not the collector's editions, but the ultimate, I guess, editions for all those games. So you get all the DLC and whatnots with it. So yeah, $134 worth of games, and you get for $10, and that money goes to charity. And I mean, how can you not want to do that, especially if you're a PC gamer? I mean, even if you're not a PC gamer and you're just like, oh, I want to get my feel-good deed in for today, I mean, go drop $10 on the Humble Bundle and give somebody the game codes that game's on PC, you know?
Yeah, just please do that, because you never know. You see that and you don't donate, and then for some reason, God forbid, you're in the same position they're in. You want somebody to donate, so please donate. Just do it, you know. Yeah. Be a good hearted and do that.
And like I said, the games change every couple of weeks or every month or so, and as do the charities. Right now, the charity that they're working with is called Save the Children, and they're basically a relief and support for children in developing countries. So I mean, it's for a great cause.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, $10, you can't go wrong with that, and you get
$10 may go in your gas tank, but $10 can go a long way to somebody else who don't have it.
And if you're the type of person that doesn't play video games and don't care about video games or whatever, they actually do a Humble Book Bundle too, and this month they're giving away Forgotten Realms, Dungeons and Dragons comic books. That also changes every month. And I mean, they're giving away a slew of these Dungeons and Dragons comic books if you're into it. It's all Baldur's Gate and Forgotten Realms kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And it's like $12 and you get like 20 digital comics. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And the collectibles, and one day, somewhere down the road, you can get like $20 out of them. Make $10 profit.
Yes, that's what you need to do.
Just go ahead and donate. Yeah. Pure heart. That's all.
But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about Humble Bundle because, like I said, I'm building a gaming PC right now to take place of this laptop, so I don't fry it. My wife gets mad at me. And like I said, I've been checking out Steam, and then I knew about Humble before, and then I just recently thought, oh, I should probably check this out. And then I got the email today. It was like, or yesterday for the Bandai stuff, and I was like, oh, I got to check this out. And I saw all the games that were up there, and I was like, oh, $10 to get these games. It's nothing I'm going to play on the PC, but I mean, it's giveaways for the channel anyway. So hey, works for everybody in my case.
Yeah.
So that's it for the news. I guess we can get to the big topic for today's episode, which is Nintendo.
Yeah.
More so the state of Nintendo and how we feel they are doing presently, how they have been doing in the past, and how we perceive them to do in the upcoming future with their new console or handheld or whatever it's going to be, the Nintendo NX. Let's see. First of all, let me go ahead and say, do any of us own a Wii U?
No, but I own a Wii though.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so I don't have a Wii U either. Do either one of you plan on getting a Wii U?
I hate to say this, but no, I don't.
No, not currently.
So, like I said before, I think it was maybe last episode, one of the only games, I'll say there's probably about a handful of games that actually interest me on the Wii U. One happened to be Zombie U. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC, so now I have no reason to own a Wii U for that. The only other game I can see is Bayonetta 2. But I'm not a huge Bayonetta fan, so there's no reason for me to go out and buy one.
I'm just upset at the fact that, if I'm wrong, correct me, but
you're wrong.
Nintendo came out before PlayStation and Xbox. I really feel like they need to be more advanced than what they are. And
well, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's go through like this little history lesson. So I have like some stats and stuff written down. So, yes, you are correct. Nintendo came out before PlayStation and Xbox. Nintendo, the NES, came out in 1985. It came out on the market at $299, which was ridiculous. Yeah, a steal. Ridiculous.
It was like buying a house.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, this console also only came with 2 kilobytes of RAM. It also had... So if you think about it, the PS4 has 8 gigabytes of RAM. No, the NES, like I said, came out with 2 kilobytes, which is nothing. Nothing these days. And the game cartridges also contain a RAM chip that help the system run that game.
Yes.
So 1991, they released Super NES, and it came out at $200.
Yes.
It had 128 kilobytes of RAM. Oh, let me go back. The NES, to this day, has sold 62 million units. Okay, the Super NES has sold 49 million units.
Kind of look backwards.
Yeah. In 1996 is when they released the Nintendo 64. It released at $199. It came with 4 megabytes of RAM, and then later they tricked you into buying that expansion pack, if everybody remembers that thing.
If you want to play Majora's Mask,
Exactly. If you wanted to play a majority of the games. Haha.
Like
But
I
yeah,
told you, I already had the Nintendo 64 Jungle Green of Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah. So they came out with that expansion pack, which added another 4 megabytes of RAM to the system. So the console total had 8 megabytes of RAM. It sold 33 million units. So if anyone's keeping up with that, 62 million, 49 million, 33 million. Do you see a trend here?
Yeah, they're dropping.
So 2001, they released the GameCube, came out at $199, had 43 megabytes of RAM, so they were actually doing something this time.
Yeah, because I had me a Nintendo GameCube, and I ain't gonna lie, I liked it. Like, I loved it. Because that's the very first system that I played with a wireless.
To be honest, I feel like that system was probably their most advanced system. And it was their first system, to me personally, that was probably catered to the hardcore gaming audience and not the casual gaming audience.
That and the simple fact they built a handle on the system, the way they just hold it.
So everyone can tote that damn cube around. That's why.
Hold it and carry it from the living room to the bedroom and back.
Yeah.
Held a button, it would start up differently. There was lots of cool things about the GameCube.
Yeah.
Man.
You hit the reset button, you hold it, you reset the game, and you play back.
Get that weird little creepy laughter.
Yeah. The GameCube sold 22 million units, so again they decreased another 11 million units from the 64. I feel like they started off with the 64 and they had some really great ideas because that's when they introduced their memory card system, their Rumble Pack system, and then again with the expansion pack, they kind of screwed everybody because that thing was super expensive.
I bought every memory card, every.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
I got everything. Everything.
So let's move along. 2006 is when the Wii came out, and everybody, their mama, their grandmama, aunts, uncles, cousins, the nephew down the street that you didn't know you had, they bought one. The Wii sold 102 million units, and it debuted at $249.99. So
the reason why is because they saw the commercial say, "We would like to play."
Yep, that's exactly it. And I mean, they were smart. They marketed the hell out of the thing, and
yes, they did.
They marketed it in a very smart way that told parents, "Hey, video games are fun. Come play with your kids." That's what that system was about. And they killed it with Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. I mean, come on.
And that's what was perfect about it. They hit the parents with it and not the kids.
And on top of that, the Wii Sports game came with the system.
Yes.
So
which was awesome because it was, even though they had 4 to 5 games, they had bowling, baseball,
tennis,
golf,
or ping pong or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had the Wii Fitness to where, you do your age each month. So they made you work towards, exercise and stuff like that. If you were 53 in August, and then, September, you'd be fucking 23. Yeah, that was awesome. I like that. It was fun. It motivates you to become younger.
I'm glad we found out that you played Wii Fit. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not fit right now, but I am in the Wii. Okay. 26.
So going back just a couple of years, 2012, they released the Wii U, which is their second most expensive console because it came out at $300. It has 2 gigs of RAM, and they've sold only 10 million units. So this is the worst selling console for Nintendo. Now keep in mind, you also have to remember, Nintendo has their home consoles, and they also have their handheld console, which is now the 3DS or whatever the hell they're calling it now, 3DS XL.
I was excited about the Nintendo SP.
The SP?
But Nintendo Advance actually come with the LED lights. Don't have to worry about playing in the dark no more.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Yeah, we're talking about present day, Sean. Okay, present day, please. So just keep in mind, like I said, the Wii U came out in 2012. And this is toward the end of the life cycle of the 360 PS3. And we already know, or already knew at that point, what the specs were for PS4 and the Xbox One. We already knew they were coming out with 8 gigs of RAM. And much more than that, we already knew the PlayStation 4 was coming out with 8 gigs of GDDR5 RAM, which is super fast RAM. And then, like I said, the Wii U comes out with 2 gigs of RAM. So, to me, I feel like they're always playing, I don't know, the beat of their own drum to a different tune of everybody else, you know? I feel like they come out of left field with their console, and I feel like the NX is going to be no different.
Yeah.
They've already gone on record to say that they're not in competition with Xbox One and PS4. They're not trying to compete with those guys. So I don't to me, I don't understand what they're trying to do.
I don't. In my book, they don't need to be in the same category.
No, if they want to survive as a gaming company, they need to be. Because, I mean, you look at Sega and Atari and everyone else that had tried at that point. I mean, you're talking about Nintendo, who was the dominant force back in the 1980s and the early 90s. And they pretty much broke everybody else.
Yeah, because, the whole more advanced and everything like that. But I just feel like this is what I want to take. It's like the battle between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Like, you got two different products, but yet, one is like, 140, the other one 150. They little difference, but it kind of tastes the same. And they just have Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. I feel like all these companies have these little rivals, but yet have a secret, one combined statement to where, hey, you do this to us, we do that to y'all, let's see who wins. That's it. I feel like they just all battle, and Nintendo has to be the guinea pig towards Xbox and PlayStation. Because as you can see, once the PlayStation kicked off, Nintendo almost got written off the map, like you were saying earlier. And then the Xbox came out with the 360, and just like, oh, this is something different, something new, And then Nintendo's kept falling a little bit. Then they come out with the first, motion and everything, the tennis, hit the ball and shit. So, I just think it's a rival that's a rival that doesn't need to be one. If Nintendo really wanted to put PlayStation and Xbox away, they can do it. But
it's not that easy. I would say before they could do it, there's no way in hell they could do it now. No way. Really the only way they would be able to take one out is if Nintendo went to Sony and said, "Hey, we're not making a console anymore, but we will make all of our first-party IPs for PlayStation 4." Or if they went to Xbox One and said, "Hey, we'll make all of our upcoming Mario IPs for Xbox One." I mean, that would shut down the opposite company.
Or just simply do this: take Mario Kart 64, make it for the new Nintendo NX, right?
Well, they've already done that. I mean, there's tracks in the Wii U game from the 64.
Make it live to where it's 4-on-4. Like, just make just 4 teams, 4-on-4. Battle it out, and see who comes to the first place. Live. Just make it live. I bet everything will shoot up. Just shoot up. Just make it live. That's one thing they need to do. Because Mario Kart is the shit. I ain't gonna lie. It really is.
You got one part of that sentence right, and yes, Mario Kart is shit. Yeah. Because there's Mario Kart for the Wii U, there's Mario Kart for the 3DS, and if I'm not mistaken, what I said a while ago, the Wii U's only sold 10 million consoles, and Mario Kart damn sure didn't help. That's the thing. That they've already shot themselves in the foot. Like, they've killed the Wii U. Everybody knows that. The Wii U and the Vita are sitting in the same garbage can together.
And I'm really upset about the Vita because I really wanted one, but I didn't get one.
And you can get one. I mean, it still has a great library. I mean, I don't know. That's for like next week or something. We can talk about that. But Will, how do you feel about Nintendo and like what's going on with them?
Yeah, you're being really quiet.
Nintendo. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Steve, that they kind of missed the boat a little bit. They obviously were, the front runner for a while, and now not so much. They had a huge success with the Wii, but to transition into like another console, I feel like that was hard to do based on the motion controls because everyone's like, well, we already have this. But why do we need another? Because it was almost a gimmick,
Yeah, and to me, it comes down to marketing. Like I said, with the Wii, they marketed that system perfectly, and they hit all the core audiences: kids, moms, dads, grandparents. With the Wii U, it came out, and they're like, "Oh, it's the Wii U," and they showed it, and everybody's like, "Well, is it a tablet for the Wii? Like, what is it?" And then we found out it's an actual console that comes with a tablet. And while the tablet, I mean, it's fine. It's touch screen. You can do a secondary screen. So if somebody wants to watch TV, you can take the screen and switch it to your tablet and play the game. I mean, that's fine. But overall, it's a gimmick, just like the Wii Waggle Nunchuck was a gimmick. The PlayStation Move was a gimmick. The Xbox Kinect is a gimmick. And everybody got tired of it, and it fell flat on its face very fast. And the tablets did too. Like, who wants to play with a tablet?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it. That's definitely a huge part of it. But just overall, like, the general trends is not inviting, like, kind of the I guess the more hardcore, you could say, or the more traditional gamers, the people who've been playing games for a while on controllers and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's
if your console doesn't meet what the other consoles are doing, even if you don't necessarily want to be put in the same league as them, you're saying like you're a whole different thing. If you cut off what the third parties are going to release on your console because you don't at least keep up,
right?
And all of a sudden your console just lost
and
a huge portion of what it could have been.
Yeah, and we saw that with the Wii U because I mean they got Mass Effect 3, they got Batman Arkham City, and one of the Assassin's Creeds, and that was pretty much it for third-party support of big AAA games from third parties.
Yeah, and like you said, it was a weird marketing thing. Like too, like when the name, because Nintendo's always kind of changed their names, except when they're building upon 3DS XL.
Yeah.
Wii U just sounds like it's still the Wii.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's just like, I don't know. There's lots of things, and the timing of it was weird too. Like it came out first, but it had old games on it. Like it was like you said, Mass Effect 3 is like, what? This is a new console, and you're putting stuff that was on last generation on it. It was just it all seemed very confusing to me and not what I wanted.
Right.
You get a new console, you want Mass Effect 4 to be on there.
Yeah.
Not Mass Effect 3.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, I totally agree with that because even with those games coming out on this console for the Wii U, they didn't have a significant graphics increase because, like you said, Mass Effect 3's on 360, it's on PS3, it's on Wii U. But looking at the games, you would never know which one's different. They all look pretty much the same. And you would think with the Wii U having 2 gigs of RAM and the Generation 7 twins, the 360 and the PS3, they only had 512 megabytes of RAM. So you would think the Wii U version would look a little bit better at least and run a little bit better at least, but it didn't. And it, like I said, it fell flat.
And even if it did, I think we were talking about before where, remasters aren't what sells your games. And that's where that comes down to me. It's not a remaster, but, older game coming later to a new console, same kind of deal. It's
so, well, let me ask you this. Yeah. Let me ask you this. With Gen 7, we saw that was the beginning of the remasters and remakes for Sony, more so Sony, and then third party. I don't think Microsoft actually sat down and said, hey, let's take that. You remember the OG Xbox game we had? Let's remaster that for 360. I don't think they did that to any of their games. off the top of my head. I mean, if you can think of any. But Nintendo kind of took a different approach with theirs, and they said, well, instead of remastering it for the Wii U, let's just re-release for Virtual Console. Do you think that's smart? I mean, I know Sony did the same thing. They do that with the PlayStation 1 Classics and the PS2 Classics. But it looks like Nintendo's approach is, let's get our entire library on the Wii U or the Wii Virtual Console. Do you think that's a smart game plan, or no? Does that matter? I guess that kind of goes back into last week's episode of talking about backwards compatibility. Does that really matter? Does it help the Wii U, or does it hurt it, or does it do nothing for it?
I think it's awesome. Honestly, I think Virtual Console is much. It just makes so much more sense to me than what either one of the other people are doing.
Yeah.
I think Xbox definitely is on a good track too. I think Sony's whole approach to it, just
right.
Releasing things at a higher price just for like a slight reskin that nobody cares about.
Yeah,
that's the least consumer friendly thing to me.
Yeah.
Whereas Nintendo is the most friendly thing,
and the thing about
Xbox is just somewhere in the middle.
The thing about the Nintendo deal is, if you go back and try to find some of these rare NES cartridges or Super NES cartridges, you're going to spend hundreds of dollars. Whereas you can go on the Virtual Console and spend $5 or $10 and get the game downloaded to your console. I think that aspect of the Wii and the Wii U are great, and even the 3DS has the capability of doing that too. And I think it's a great idea, but I just wish they would put that, I guess, initiative and that kind of passion into some of their first-party games, because I feel like a lot of their first-party games are tired now. Like, I know Mario is their front man, he's their mascot, and he will never go away. And I'm not saying at all get rid of Mario, but I feel like after, let's see, Mario 3 was or Super Mario Bros. 3 was the game that started with the map, basically. It was the first one to have the map where you selected where to go. After that, Nintendo 64, we had Mario 64, and it was pretty much a revelation for console gaming because it was one of the first 3D platforming games, and it still, in that same aspect, had that kind of world map because you had your HUD and then you picked where you wanted to go. And ever since then, I feel like every Mario game's been the exact same.
It has.
And granted, I haven't
Mario
played
Galaxy
a lot.
And stuff like that, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, Mario Galaxy, you have a hub world. You pick where you want to go. You go to said place, and you run, jump, spin, and collect a suit and whatever. And it's been the exact same thing. And I'm not saying, like, completely change the format, but when every other year you're coming out with a Mario game and it's the same Mario game. I mean, Mario has become the Call of Duty for Nintendo.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah. But I think they do innovate definitely more than Call of Duty would.
Yeah. I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to shit on Nintendo at all. Like, growing up, the NES was my second console. It was one of my favorite consoles. The 64 was definitely one of my favorite consoles when I was a kid. To me, it just sucks because I loved Nintendo so much back in the day, and now I'm just like, what are you doing? You can be so much better than this. Like, it breaks my heart to think Skyward Sword could be crap when I loved Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Right.
For me, like, re-release Duck Hunt.
Nobody wants Duck. Go away with your re-releases and your let's play 4-player co-op Mario Kart. Nobody wants that.
Okay, like,
if they were going to release Duck Hunt, they would have did it with the Wii. That was the perfect game for them to re-release on the Wii, and they never did it. They screwed up. We're talking about something different now. No, it's your birthday. I understand that, but you can't come up with stupid ideas and think it's okay.
The reason why I bring it up is because, okay, Killer Instinct was one of my favorite games on Nintendo.
We'll go get an Xbox.
Exactly, I was about to say that. Then the come up with a new Killer Instinct on Xbox One.
Well, that's because Microsoft bought Rare.
Okay.
Rare used to make all the best games on Nintendo was made supposedly by Rare, even though I didn't like any of those games. But okay.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like you have these good ass games, and then you don't keep them. You know, for some reason, whatever. It's just like these games sell, like, because Killer Instinct was badass. It was second to Mortal Kombat.
The new Killer Instinct didn't sell either, so I mean, it must not have been that badass.
Yeah, because simply because of how you had to get the game. And
well, yeah, I guess I'll give you that. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure that had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, I mean, if you just would have kept it, you know, okay, let's see, remastered it, right?
No.
Or rebooted, you know, whatever.
Right.
If you just would have kept it original and just, you know, just created it better, you know, it would have sold. If you said, hey, Killer Instinct, boom.
Well,
$10, $15, $20.
That's more like that's a whole lot easier said than done. You know, I can be like, well, I'm going to make the next Mario game and it's going to be better. I mean, it's a whole lot easier said than done, man.
Make it better to where we can see it being better. Don't just show us the same shit over and over again. Just make it look better.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree. But that's the thing with video games these days. I mean, look at Assassin's Creed. We get one every year. And like I said, what was it, last podcast or the podcast before that, they're hit or miss each time. Hell, the last one came out and it was broke. Like, you paid $60 for it. Half of the graphics didn't render in the game. It was a broken, hot mess.
Yeah, and this new one now got this commercial that everybody doing, you know, the parkour shit for the commercial.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, the last one's broken, but there's still, I mean, there's another one coming out this year, and I'm sure it's going to sell millions of copies.
Yeah.
It's not, see, I'm going to say it's not the fault of Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft as much as it is the fault of myself, you, Will, and everybody else that plays video games, because we're the assholes to go out there and buy it. It's the Fantastic Four, the Resident Evil movie thing all over again. We're the problem. We buy the shit every year, and they get worse and worse. They break constantly, and then we get on the internet here. We get on our little soapbox podcast that we're hoping everybody's listening and rallying their pitchforks with, but we're the problem, not them. And, I mean, can I get a TGP, please? Can I get a TGP?
And I don't like that. The young kids don't know nothing. Give it to the old school people to teach, so they can teach the young ones where it came from. And,
yes,
you know,
give it, please, by all means. If you're listening out there, please give it to Sean, the old school guy, so he can make Duck Hunt and this random-ass Mario Kart 64 4-player co-op.
Give me those and I'll bring it to number 1, okay?
Please, somebody, help him out.
All the secrets, all the cheat codes to that
oh my
damn
gosh.
games.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
Alright, final thoughts with that. Overall, we don't really know where Nintendo's going with the NX. I mean, we didn't even really talk about it. All we know right now, they haven't really talked about it, but the NX, like I said, they've stated they're not in competition with Sony and Microsoft, so we don't really know what that means. We don't know if that means the NX is going to be underpowered compared to the current gen consoles. We don't know if it's actually going to be a console, if it's going to be a new handheld, or if it's going to be a hybrid between the two. We don't know what the NX is, other than we know it's going to have Mario. We know it's going to have probably some stupid gimmick game like Wii Sports and whatever the hell the one, what was it, Nintendo Land for Wii U. We know it's going to have something like that. That's the only guarantees we can tell you about the NX.
I don't know, man. I think they might go a different route, actually. I think they can say they're not in competition with Xbox and PlayStation all they want.
And I would love that. Honestly, I would love for them to come out and say, hey, here's the NX, and it has 12 gigs of memory, and here's your regular freaking Nintendo controller, and you just plug it into your TV and you play your games. Like, I would love for that to be the case.
I
But
think they've yet to release a regular Nintendo controller.
exactly. That's
for
the
me,
problem.
The best thing I want the NX to be
Is a duck hunt simulator game.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry.
If they're not going to be in competition and everything like that, that's fine. Stand on your own like they did before.
Before would be the Wii U, and the Wii U's killing them. They can't do that.
Yeah, because they take hits because of what.
No, they've taken too many hits. That's the problem.
They just need to upgrade their games. If they can upgrade their games and do just a little bit where people can play together, all this good stuff, they can make.
They have that now. You're talking about the Wii U, and nobody wants it.
Yeah, because the way.
No, I'm telling you. You're saying yeah, but I'm telling you, what you're describing is the Wii U. Nobody wants it.
I know. It's so sad. I just like Nintendo, man. I ain't gonna lie. I love all systems, man. I like systems because I'm a gamer. I will play any system anytime if I can. I'll do it.
This from the person that said they weren't gonna buy a Wii U.
I know.
No, I mean, I totally understand. It's hard to justify buying a $300 console when there's nothing that compels you to play.
It's just, it's hard to do that.
Yeah, no, I understand. Will, final thought for Nintendo before we get out of here?
I don't understand Nintendo. Nintendo will do whatever the hell they're going to do. They'll probably be wildly successful again in the future. But I have no idea how. I'm not even sure if Nintendo knows how, but I'm sure it'll happen.
I feel like I'm glad you brought that up. Before we get out of here, they have recently started releasing some of their older games on mobile devices too, such as phones. I think I'm not 100% sure if it's like on the iPhone or if it's just in Japan right now, but I'm pretty sure they have released like Super Mario Brothers for phone devices.
Yeah, they've announced some partnership with someone to help them get into kind of the mobile gaming, which is different than what they've been doing before.
Which is crazy to me. I mean, that does show that they're going in a different direction and they're willing to change. But how much are they willing to change, and how much of a different direction are they prepared to go into to take back their number one spot like they used to have?
Yeah. That's actually kind of a strange move to me because their handhelds still do pretty well. So it's kind of.
Oh, agreed. Weird. I mean, the 3DS is, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it the best-selling console now? Like, it overtook the PS2.
Yeah, and I'm kind of upset about that simply because it came with a pen. They got
Here we go.
On it. But the SP took. Man, the SP.
What are you talking about? An SP? I don't know what an SP is.
Game Boy Advance SP, man.
I don't know what that is.
It was the flippy one, I think, right?
Yeah, it was the one that flipped like the old cell phone.
Oh, never mind. They haven't. No.
Yeah, it came out with silver, blue, and red. I think that was the only colors you could get. Then it came out with black.
I'm wrong. 3DS has only sold 53 million units, but I would guess 3DS and DS sales together would probably overtake the number one spot.
And I hate Nintendo did 3DS. They came out with this damn game with puppies. You can raise puppies.
Oh
and
shit! You're gonna piss a lot of people off. Everybody loves their Nintendogs, man. In Animal Crossing.
It's just dumb as hell, man.
You remember that one German guy we talked about listened to our podcast last week?
Uh-huh.
He probably doesn't listen to us anymore because he loves Nintendogs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love you. Please bring me to Oktoberfest, by the way.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for this week's episode. We murdered Nintendo if they didn't already murder themselves. Just a reminder, again, you can join the podcast, be part of the podcast every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That is when we start on time, unlike tonight where we didn't. join the chat. Go twitch.tv/that's Steve Dawson. Talk to us, drop us a comment, ask us some questions.
Yes, please do.
And if you're one of those people that you're like, hey, I don't want to look at your ugly ass face, I absolutely understand. I tell you, sashay your skinny ass over to soundcloud.com/they got a podcast and pick up the audio version there.
Yeah.
And also remember, while you're on the Twitch page, each episode is brought to you by No Scope Glasses. Scroll down the page and you'll see a little No Scope Glasses banner there. Click on the banner, check out all the glasses. They'll help you little peepers while you look at computer screens, TVs, out in the sun rays. All that good stuff. No Scope Glasses. And that's going to do it for this week.
Yeah, we love y'all. And I'm glad you participated and listened to us. And
God, let's get out of here before he says something else about something being remade.
No.
Hush, it's your birthday, we know.
Well, I was just going to say, let's give a shout out to our top 5 states and countries.
No, they don't even listen anymore. After that whole duck hunt crap, we lost everybody. We lost SoundCloud just emailed me and they're like, hey, you can't post that shit on our...
Nintendo Wii sold a lot with the hunt, okay? But the hunt here and everything.
What are you talking about? Oh my God. My head hurts. I'm out of here. That's it for this episode. Until next time, guys.